going on, people? Noble, first one in. Magic Morphs. How's everyone doing? Don't tell me it's too early to do this. How's everyone been? As normal, going to get some people in for the first 5 minutes. Then we're going to get NobleFamilyGeckos on, hear about some of his projects, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Wendigo. Unfortunately, because I've got a new Instagram account now, I can only do my lives for 60 minutes. I don't know if you guys saw on my last live with Luke Tanner, it cut off. Because I haven't got that many views and everything, I'm back down to 1 hour live. But hopefully, in a few more lives' time, they'll bump it back up again. I think it was 4 hours I was allowed before, but we'll see. Geckos galore. What's going on, Stacey? I'd like to see the new page. Eco Geckos will probably join, but he's probably in the bath. If you know Jay, he's always in the bath. Lucy's Leos. Just had a fat pack of bee pollen delivered, mate. Yeah, you already know. I bought some geckos today, actually. Because I know a few of the other lives, someone's like, people have messaged like, can you bring some geckos? Can you show some of your geckos? So I bought some with me. Alright, you know what? I'm going to show off one now. So this is one of my green lines I'm well happy with. A green line is another line of like Emerine, G&T, but the green line is predominantly to get a green stripe. This is a green line, possible heterotrempa. One of my favourites this season. Put green on that. Yeah, for some reason, Wendigo, I know some people can't comment on their business pages for some reason. I'll be over in this account. Is anyone else having issues? Well, I suppose I won't know. You won't be able to tell me. So this is my green line. Best one this season. I won't show any more geckos just yet. I've got a few nice ones with me today. Green on that. Fire. It's good to see you on, Jay. You still in the bath, my friend? But as normal, everyone, we've got some questions here. Some pre-given questions for Scott. If any of you guys got any questions while I'm on with Scott, please feel free to send them through. I know there's a bit of an issue at the moment with people putting comments in. I don't know why. I know Wendigo's Exotics account can't do it. And also, who else was it? Somebody else messaged me and said they couldn't comment, which is a shame. What's going on, Peter? So I'll give it a couple more minutes, then we'll get Scott on. Scott's got some real nice stuff. I like the white and yellow stuff he's got. I think it's from Suburban. He got his white and yellow Mac from. I think it's Mac. Really nice stuff. This is what these lives are all about, getting to know people. What's going on, Dan? What's going on, Dave? What's going on, Siobhan? Siobhan, are you and Dave going to the show next week? Are you staying the night before? Or are you going up there on the day? If you see me look this way, it's because I'm looking at the time. If you see me look this way, it's because I'm reading the questions. I'll give it a minute, Scott. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for Scott right now. I messed up big time. I put 12 p.m. I don't know why. It's 1 o'clock. Yes, we are. We're going up on the day. Oh, that's a shame. It'll be nice. Hopefully next year, you can go up a night before and have a few beers and something to eat, for sure. I reckon Dave's a right crack with a beer in him. Right. Give it 30 seconds. Bet Scott's like that. Hopefully people can comment. For some reason, people have issues commenting. I don't know whether it's my new account or something. Oh, I have no idea. But as normal, the lives are probably going to last for about an hour. For those that have joined, so basically, because I lost my last account, I've gone back to this like limited live where I can only do a live for an hour. Whereas my other account, I could do it for 4 hours. So the lives will only be running for an hour until I get new. Or you can only do that if we have some. Oh, I forgot you got dogs. Budweiser's gone right through me already. We'll definitely be there next year. What's going on, Adam? Anyway, let's get Scott in. Scott from NobleFamilyGeckos. He's got some really nice stuff. Be nice to hear more about him, hear about some of his projects. I know he's bought some new stuff in on his Instagram, so it'd be nice to hear about what projects he's going to be doing with that. Maybe we are on the naughty list for saying theme. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's add Scott in. So Scott, it will say something like Elite Geckos has requested you to join. You just hit that up and it should send you straight in. Noble. Here we go. Invite. Early for Scott right now, so he's going to look shattered. Leaping Cresties. Hey.
Oh, we made it.
There we go. How are you? You tired?
Nah, we're all right. Good morning.
Good. How you doing, man? Thank you for coming on.
Oh, hey, thanks for inviting me, dude. When you first invited me, I was like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be in the shadows for 5 years, and then come out. But that's just a testament to what you got going on here. I'd like to say that. That's
definitely. Cool. This is what I like. I like building a community of people because I know a lot of people. For example, a friend of mine called Scott. He's called Scott as well. Geckos, and I only got to meet him this year. And when I was talking to him, I said, "Oh, it's good that you're a newbie." And he's like, "Bro, I've been around for long." He's like, "I just keep away. I keep away from the community." So he said, "It's nice to see that the community is coming together and whatnot." So, but yeah, no, good to have you in because you got some lovely stuff, man. Some real nice stuff.
Thanks.
So
you got it's better than a round table right here. You got a banquet and you're really bringing people. Like I might be the least experienced breeder you got here, so that's the true test. I didn't have the heart to ask you what a leopard gecko was, so I did some research and I brought me a pure leopard gecko.
Oh, nice. What's behind this one then?
This is my pet, the one who started it all.
This is the guy that started. That comes down to the first question. How did it all start, Scott? So this one right here.
Right here. You know, with the love for reptiles, you know, there's no shortage of egg cracking videos on YouTube. Yeah. So, you know, I was obviously understanding kind of like the idea behind breeding and morphs, you know, with all the BHB and all those classic, you know, J from prehistoric.
Yeah.
All those egg cutting videos. So my kids ended up catching a yard lizard, and we ended up building a real dope little enclosure for them. And and I wanted to start line breeding the yard lizards.
Right.
A couple of them dropped some eggs, so I was like, maybe we can get some real colorful ones out of here. And long story short, my wife's like, why don't you get them a real lizard? And now she wishes she never said that.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Oh, so it just literally, so it all started with a little bit of fun. The same as me, a little bit of fun. And then once you start getting eggs and they hatch, you go, wow. Do you know what I mean? It's like Christmas all over again. So literally, same with me. I was more of a chameleon guy. And it was my girlfriend. She was like, oh, I like leopard print. Let's get a leopard gecko. And ever since then, now she goes to me, I wish I never bloody told you to get a leopard gecko, because now you're spending all your money. So was it a family thing? Would you say, like, you got it for your daughter? Because I know DC Geckos in the UK. He's the guy that created the copper morph. And when I had done the live with him, he said similar to you. I actually got the gecko for my daughter, and from then I've grew on to build this. Would you say that's similar with you?
As far as kids, involving the kids, you know, there's a lot of lessons involved. There's patience. You know, you gotta be up on it and responsible. There's even a bit of sex education, right? I don't want my kids to be blindsided when they hit the 5th grade and somebody tells them how it happens, you know. So we can kind of sneak in some information with the geckos. Some discipline involved, right? There's like 4 or 5 several lessons, you know what I mean, that benefit them. But obviously it's my hobby, and hopefully I can inspire them to take on a hobby of their own one day. You know what I mean? So there's a whole lot of things that I find encouraging about it. Yeah.
It's life skills as well. Like, you know, you've got to clean it, you got to feed it like you would a human. Do you know what I mean? Just because when they're a kid, they don't understand, everything's given to them, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that is a big gecko, man.
Yeah, he's bad. Oh, he's gorgeous. I wish I could have. You know, he did pair on accident. Actually, it wasn't supposed to happen. I went camping, came back, and the female, another pet, our second pet, jumped the divider. I had put the hide too close, so I found her in his bed, and that was
and then shit went down.
Yeah. He was smoking a cigarette by the time I got home.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. So from there, it's sort of just, I'm guessing you've just gone crazy with it. You're like, oh, these are amazing. I want more.
Oh, I already started pairing before he got the chance to.
Right. Okay.
I already did the research and knew, okay, I don't want to breed these ones, but it just happened. But it's okay. The first year was all about learning for me, right? I know I don't know enough. I'm only doing this. This is my first season. Yeah. So I really wanted to get some kind of a tangible experience gone before I really jump in, and that's why I'm glad I started with what I did. I got to get the temperature right on the incubator, and keep the eggs alive, all that good stuff. Care for them, right? You got to get a regiment down. You got to get a method. I wanted to nail all that stuff down before I got too many, and here I am with like 12 breeders.
I'm looking forward to this because you've got some real special stuff. There's one you've posted that I clipped it today because I was like, let me double check what the genetics behind that. You didn't post the genetics on it, so I think it's a white and yellow Mac you got. Yeah, it is fire, Scott. It is so nice. I think the father or the mother was from Suburban.
Yep. He's the cornerstone of my Tremper project.
That's it.
I'll pull him out right now.
It's Jay on the iPad. So it's Eco Geckos on his girlfriend's iPad. So Brooke Kimberly Leon's is actually Eco Geckos. I guess Jay can't comment. So what is your what would you say your main focus is, Scott, with the leopard geckos? What sort of morphs would you say you like the most? Like what are you going to be working with the most? Like with me, I've got a lot of obviously giants. I'm mainly a Tremper guy.
I like the Trempers.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I wanted to try to plan ahead. You know what I mean? And if I started off with 1 or 2 pairs, I don't think I could have planned properly. So I got an immediate gratification, and that's this guy here for you. I think that's the one you're talking about. Look at him, he's in shed.
Not beautiful.
Yeah, he's the WI Mac that you were talking about. Blood.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's the immediate gratification, right? And I wanted to plan ahead. I got a couple projects that are het for Bell and Rain, and 50% het Rain. That was going to be, a couple years. I got that Mandarin project, and that specific project might take me 5-6 years before I can even put it into something like this to add something fresh. So I had a immediate project, longer term and long term, right? I wanted to kind of hit the span and think ahead. So this is definitely the immediate gratification. I had him paired with that Atomic G. They gave me 1 egg out of like 13 slugs.
No.
I was,
I bet that one baby, I think I know the baby, is fire
oh, yeah.
as well. It's like
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
fire. But
Oh, she's gorgeous.
for somebody who's been, I wouldn't say I've been breeding on a high level since 2016. I say from sort of 2018, I really got into it. But for somebody who's been breeding for a few years, to look at you and you say, oh, I've got a Mandarin project in my head and I'm looking at it to go into, it's probably going to take me 6 years to hit that. For someone like myself who's been doing it for a while, I like hearing that because to me, it sounds like you're in it for the long term. Do you know what I mean? You do get a lot of people that come in, but I see it all the time, come in, 30 breeders, have all these geckos. Oh, I can't really sell them. I'm gone, bye. You see it every year. But to hear someone come in and say, look, you know, this is a process. That's the best way to put it. This is a process. To hear that from you, it's refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a big part of it. You know, getting rid of the geckos. What are you going to do? Luckily, I'm in a highly populated area. So there's like 5 or 6 pet stores really close. And like 3 or 4 like are actual reptile stores. But you got to shop those out because there's a few of them I wouldn't want to give a gecko. I wouldn't sell them a gecko for full price.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have the ones that look like they're at least know what they're doing with them, you know. So
yeah,
I don't want to just make them and, you know, put them out there. I want to obviously take my time. If I have to, I'll hold on to as many as I possibly can. The pet stores really are just maybe a pressure release valve. You know what I mean? I don't want to overproduce and have, you know, 50 more geckos than I do tubs. So yeah, I'm not really doing that, and I don't have anything against that. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to have a good time. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm here for the love.
That's it. And doing your way, 100%. I mean, for someone like a lot of us breeders, we have the pet shop as sort of a last resort sort of thing. Like, oh, if I have to free up space, that they will take. But what you're saying is absolutely spot on. I like his hoodie.
And he's a ghost for Halloween.
Right? Oh, beautiful. Yeah, literally. Casper the ghost there. He looks similar to...
Yeah, I know yours. Yours is a gem, though, right? Is it gem?
Yeah. I got that here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought the same thing.
They look very, very similar.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous looking gecko. I like the real high whites. I love
beautiful. That. It's the little paradox in here as well.
Yeah, that's dark. That's cool. Hey, how do you speaking of the paradox? I know that's a little different than just pattern, but you got the smiley face project, right?
Yeah. That's something I've been. I got one here as well, but yeah, go on.
I like that. How predictable is that?
Honestly, what happened was I got a pair of giants. This was back in 2018, and that's what started it for me anyway. Cut a long story short, similar to the season you had, I had literally 14 eggs, all were slugs apart from the one. Anyway, something was really off with it. I'm going to go into it a bit here. Something was really off for this one egg.
Yeah.
It was incubated onto something like day 70 or something, and I was like, this isn't right. So I ended up cutting the egg. It did survive, and it had this big smile on its head. And talking to some various breeders, they were like, "Oh, you should like work with that, see what you can do." And from this one female I call Smiley, everything she produces comes out with this smiley head. And with line breeding it for the last 4 years, I mean, 85% success rate, all come out with this smile. I love it. To think that could be my line. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Like is that a high percentage rate for head stamp?
Sorry, say it again, my friend.
That sounds like a pretty good ratio.
Yeah,
head stamp. Exactly.
If I was getting sort of 40%, then I'd say, oh, it's just something, a little project of mine. But to be getting a lot of it like, oh,
that's a crown. Yeah, that's a jewel.
Beautiful, eh?
Yeah. I'll take one.
Yeah, I'll send you one. Don't you worry, my friend. But yeah, what this is doing for me. Same with Lucy Leo's in the comments. She's had a fair few off for me. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I've hatched a gecko with a smiley head. It does happen. It can be completely random, but because I've been line breeding this for a few years now, it's sticking. That's where I can say, well, this is my smiley head project. You know, you with rainwaters as well. You'll notice with a lot of rainwaters. I know you're going to be working with rains, I believe.
I guess, yeah.
Some 50%, wasn't it? 50% hets.
Yeah.
A lot of rainwaters I see hatch with smiles, but you won't. Even though one will hatch with a smile and you pair it, it might not produce any smiles. Where mine are producing smileys. But I'm glad you said that. You gassed me. Americans ask me how my smileys are. So, what's your plans within Mandarin, Scott? Because I know you've got a Mandarin cross, haven't you?
Right here. Here's that Atomic G real quick. I'll just show you. That's the one I'm pairing with that last guy.
Oh, beautiful.
The Mandarins. Let me pull one out. Let's see. I got to show off one I got from Leviathan. Dina hooked it up with a beautiful Mandarin. This one is no known hets. The other one I got, I'll pull him out in a second. That's going to be the pair. She gave me 2 crosses this year.
I could look at her.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Pumpkin for Halloween.
Yes, please.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got a really beautiful male from Barry. He's possible het NDBE, and that's what I want to keep a line of that going, but I also want to clear out a line if possible. You know, that's going to be taking 5+ years.
Definitely.
That's you know, because obviously it's a nitrate. If I want to mix it in with that last project or any of my projects, I got to get that out. I'd like to. I hear people recommending you want 30 clean hatchlings before you can, you know, say no known hets. But I would like to. I mean, take an extra year after that at least. Get as many as possible in.
Definitely.
But,
with the NDBE as well. With NDBE, the hets are beautiful in themselves. They're such a color enhancer. It's ridiculous.
That's why I'd like to keep a line of that going. You know, because they're so dark, and you got to be careful with the line too. No, don't breed visuals together, because then you have some genetic deformation. So it takes a little bit of you know just being careful. You know, it's not one you can just recklessly breed. I suppose. Still kind of learning about that.
The females, NDBE visual females can be infertile as well, can't they?
From what I hear, there's 4 or 5 that in the world that will produce.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. That means it can be worked with then. If it was like, no, all females, they're all infertile, then you'd be a bit like, but if there is some producing, you could be like, oh, okay, it is possible then.
Yeah. That would be cool to have one.
But yeah, so it was Green Mountain. I'm glad I had an NDBE free my male. Oh, that's beautiful, man. So you got some. Do you know what? When I look at people like yourselves, I think to myself, man, when I started, I was crap. The fire you guys got, that is beautiful.
Thank you. Well, you know, these aren't cheap, so thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I can see you put in the investment, time. Even your racks. What racks you got there, by the way?
I got a sea serpents and an animal plastics. I just sold a 5-tub right now because I got 2 more of these coming in the mail. They should be here. I order them at separate times. This is a real delay, so I ordered them way ahead of any time I'll ever need it. I ordered one about 4 months ago, and then I ordered another one last month. So, and they're about 6 months out.
I think that's the thing with rack companies. Everyone I know, whenever they order a rack, it's like sometimes even takes 6 months. You know what I mean? So don't. If you've got geckos hatching, don't think yourself, well, I'm gonna order a rack tomorrow. You order it in advance.
Yeah, I've been there. That was stressful. I was like pushing it like one more gecko and I'm out of room. But then it came in the mail and whew.
What would you say your favourite line of albino is, Scott? It might not necessarily be, oh, I have that, but what would you say? My favourite is, I'd say Tremper. I do like Bell, but I prefer the Tremper look. And with Rainwater, personally, I look at something like that and think that's an unfinished article. that could be worked with heavily. Rainwater's like the colours could be, you add a lot more colour into it. Whereas Tremper, it's sort of been there, done that. Do you know what I mean? What's your take on what's your favourite out of the three?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty incredible rainwaters. I've only been really watching this year, but I have seen a lot of attention focused on it. So with that, I don't know how anybody can decide.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna focus, I think, on Tremper, and then I have the other ones because I want to experiment and have fun with them.
Definitely. You should get a giant in your collection somewhere.
I want to.
Yeah,
that would be great. That would be great.
Definitely. Do you not work with any bell? Because I did see something on your page. I think it was an Afghan bell, I believe, or Afghan bell. Yeah,
I picked up a bell from Suburban Gecko, and I paired that with my Afghanicus. In fact, the Afghanicus fathered two of these also. So I got something parallel. You know what I mean? I want to introduce new blood, as well as eventually, adding these as new blood to other stuff. Oh, is that your bell?
That's yeah. This is my white-faced radar lavender bells.
Such beautiful eyes. Yeah, if I had to get, okay, I'll go with one. I'll play along. Bell. Yeah.
Another one.
Is that a sibling?
Yeah, clutch mates. Yeah. See, I do really like Bell, but they have that, it's weird to explain. They have that Pacific look to them, that they're very bold. And I almost like my geckos a bit pastel-y, a bit washed out looking. That's just what I like. But they have been growing on me, for sure. The Rainwaters I'm really, really excited to play with. Even though Tremper is so established, I'm super excited to keep pushing the boundaries with them. 100%. There's still so much stuff that probably hasn't even been unlocked yet. George, I'll have to hook you up with one from Prince. Definitely. Woo! Oh, wow.
That's the hat.
Beautiful, Scott.
Yeah.
Is there greens in there as well, I can see?
It looks like it, yeah. I'd have to say so. This one's straight from Barry.
Oh, stunning, man.
He's he's feisty.
If it's from Barry, you got the creme de la creme, as we would say.
Yes, sir. I went for it.
Oh, stunning. Absolutely stunning. Wendigo, that's a nice one. Definitely. Surprised Multi ain't in it, because he would have liked that one.
Oh, yeah. I would love to get something from Multi one day.
Oh, his stuff's absolutely incredible. What would be your best advice for a new breeder starting out? Considering you're fairly new, what would be your best advice you'd give to someone? I know I get messages all the time. Because obviously I show my face a lot. I'm on YouTube. A lot of people do come to me. The amount of people are like, we're scared to speak to people. Or I had one comment. It upset me a little bit. Not like gonna cry, but I thought like, oh, I remember being like this. Like, somebody messaged me and they were like, what's the process I have to do to get a table at a show? But I feel like I'm not good enough. And I felt like, I've been like that. I felt like that. The best advice I could give is work with what you love and go for it. But it'll be good for someone like you, because obviously as time goes on, things to change. But what's the best advice you would give for somebody starting out?
I think a big part of this hobby is community. So obviously, don't feel there's no problem with reaching out to a breeder, and you don't have to commit to a purchase. But if you're interested, ask a question. They'll most likely provide you with a good answer. But definitely look out for people like my man Adam over at Bunn's Finest Leos. You know what I mean? He was the first time with me, same time. Like we're basically, I met up with a bunch of people that I ended up linking up with were first timers. We're asking each other questions, we're quizzing each other behind the scenes and all that good stuff. Because we're obviously trying to learn. You know what I mean? What's polygenetic mean? You know what I mean? We're there, and then you learn as you go. Everybody helps each other out. But yeah, it's all about a community and meeting friends and.
We're all sharing the same hobby, so we're all sharing. We all love doing what we do. I'm still learning. We're all learning. We all learn off each other. I mean, I learned something of a junior the other day. Do you know what I mean? Like every
Exactly.
day's a
Exactly.
school day. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah. Resources. Yeah.
that's it. That's it. Be like a sponge. Be a sponge. Just draw all that information.
I'm a dry
Stunning.
sponge, but that's all right.
Yeah. What's this, Scott?
This
Must
is
be
my het.
Afghan.
He's my het rainwater I got from Gecko Boa.
Oh, lovely.
I like the hets. I do love hets. It's so much fun. If you produce the het, it's even better because you know it's het.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is with hets as well, I almost look at like you're putting in the work with that as well. It's like a lot of people buy visuals. Like with a lot of people in the snake world, they'll buy like 2 normal het pides and they'll put them together to, I've worked for that sort of thing. Where you get 2 visuals, right. You know what you're going to get. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's like the foundation. You kind of get an idea what the bottom coat looks like.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful. You say Gecko Boa, did you say, or Suburban?
Gecko Boa.
Gecko Boa.
Original Raining Red Stripe line to Red Stripe from Trimper, from Ron.
Very nice.
This one paired with Macularis that I got from ETC. So
how did that do?
I can't wait to see what happens with this.
Yeah. Look, I can see it in his face. You can see the excitement. Oh, wow.
He's bad.
So, yeah, how do you, at the moment, there's a lot of tangerine trampolines like Red Diamond, Copper. And it seems to be a big thing at the moment. But what do you think of the, how it's like going to develop? Do you reckon it's going to get improve? I know you guys in America, you got like some of the tangerine trampolines you got are popping. I mean, the answer to that question, I'll say, of course, things will get better as you lie and breed. But what's your take on that, Scott? It's a bit of a tricky question. That do you think tangerine trampolines will improve?
I hope so, because I'm going to be working with Tramper. I'd like to see it improve.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as like what's go and get what you love, that for me that's kind of a hard question, because it's like if I would have ended up with a Red Diamond first, I would be really into that.
Yeah.
There's a good chance. Let me see that guy again. Which one is that? Yeah. Is that your Red Diamond cross?
No, this is actually a Tang Yellow.
Okay.
But I know why you said that, and I've got a little project planned up in there.
Okay.
But this guy came from Tien. I always get it wrong. I'm pretty sure he's Netherlands.
Giant.
Giant, yeah. He only hatched in July. He's gonna be a fun.
Yeah, I'd like to see you have a lot of success working the Tremper. So I'm hoping the Trempers really continue to develop.
Definitely. Oh, almost put him in a tub with somebody else. The beer has arrived. It definitely has, Jay. It definitely has. You know me. 1 o'clock.
All right.
We've answered that question. What's your favourite part? What's your favourite part of breeding, Leopard geckos, Scott? I mean, for me, so you never know what you're going to get.
Favorite part of breeding? Probably the incubation. The incubation
really?
period. The anticipation, right? That's why I'm glad I got a little bit done before, as far as my first year. I wanted to have a higher volume because there's a lot of anxiety with it, right? So I wanted to experience a lot of that before I really, started dedicating myself to all the information that's out there. Of course, I'm taking it in as I go along. I don't know if I'm a slow learner. I'm just a patient one. I'm not in a rush. So,
yeah.
As it comes, if I hear something 3 or 4 times, it might resonate or stick.
I mean,
but I like the incubation because there's anxiety with delivering. You know what I mean? Mailing. Like there's always all these things that first you're sitting there biting your nails as they're pairing. You're going through every breeder's probably gone through each one of those steps. It doesn't end. It just keeps. The anxiety is gonna be there the whole way.
You like the scary part.
Yeah, I guess so.
You like the part everyone's like, oh, please, Hatch. He's there like, Love this bit.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. So apart from leopard geckos, have you worked? How have you like? A lot of people in this hobby, we used to have chameleons, or I know you suggest some yard geckos, but other than that, has it always been Leos, or has there been anything else you've had in the past, or have you had any other exotic animals? I know a lot of people have birds, and I've had some. I can't remember who I had on. Someone used to breed dogs. Have you had? Because I feel like we're all connected in a way, us animal keepers. I feel like we're always that kid who used to lift up rocks, picking up isopods and collecting snails. Would you say you was the same as a kid?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a boa constrictor. The funny thing is, I used to kind of I used to dismiss leopard geckos, and I had you know, some Amazon boas, some regular constrictors, pre-internet. And by the time I bought one for my kids, I was like, oh, I can't believe I just missed this the whole time. Like, these things are awesome. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I almost went with the blue tongue skink, but I'm so glad that I picked up some leopard geckos for the kids. Cheers.
Cheers. No, we've actually got to cheers it.
I remember you recommended something that was local to you, and it got lost on Elite Geckos 1.
Oh, honestly, my heart when that went down, I thought, oh, I built all this, but we're here.
Here's the 2.0.
Yeah. Do you guys think any new genes such as white and yellow enigma are going to emerge in the next few years? And if so, how do you think we'll keep those away from ES and mental disabilities? I do think things will pop out. Things will always pop out. A lot of people don't realise that a lot of these mutations actually pop up due to the incest of lion breeding mum. Like, for example, Black Knight. I think things will pop out. I think there's so much to unlock. I mean, even with Cypher, I don't personally know much about it, but there's so much to unlock with that, with Black Knight. So, do I think things are going to pop out? Yes, I do. A lot of people a lot of us get incubation issues. So like you might get some animals that are spinning, and for a new breeder, if you had like a white and yellow pairing and you had one gecko that spinned, a lot of the time people think, oh, I've got an issue in my line, but don't always rule that out. Always think to yourself that it could be that one gecko, it could be an incubation issue. I mean, my green lines, all of them have been perfect apart from one gecko, and you could have swore it was white and yellow how it wobbles, but it's completely incubation. That'll be raised and sold for a pet home, but you know, it's all about keeping true to one another. If you ever see an issue, just say like, before you buy this gecko, the reason why it's gone for sale is blah 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 blah. I have noticed this. Just be true. Just be truthful. This is how a lot of these issues keep going. Like white and yellow, bad white and yellow lines is, I will sell it. That once it's gone, it's not my problem. This is how issues and like these occur. So if you stay true and say, well, there's an issue there, we'll hold that back. Either take it to a pet shop and they can sell it to a pet home, or find it a new home. We have to be truthful to what we do.
Out here, it's easy to find somebody who wants a disability in their animal.
Really?
I had one with a curly pigtail, one with an overbite, and those sold before some other ones that I thought were that I kept. Eventually I took them off the shelf because I think they're potential breeders. But I had two with the shark mouth, and they sold. I did have one that had what looked like a white and yellow syndrome. You know, I found that one a good home. I made sure to take a video of its most extreme kind of rolls. It really wasn't bad, but when I was holding it, it kind of did a tumble. Yeah. And I showed that to the person buying it. You know, make sure they understand entirely, and they found it a good home. That was great.
Do you think people maybe in America they like to get a little bit of deformed animal as a pet because they see it as a little bit more character?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, over here they're like, no, don't want that. That's got something wrong with it. But
yeah, for sure.
Have you noticed personally, have you, obviously just talking about it then, what is your, because this is one of the questions here, have you had any negative experience with white and yellow? I suppose you sort of have. You've had one that has a very slight, I guess wobble. I mean, it all depends on how people think. I know they can grow out of it, and what you've done is the best way to do. Just say like, look, this is what's happened. I mean, it's nothing like Enigma syndrome. I can say that. They live happy lives. They're not disabled as such, but they do have this sort of like. The best way to explain it is I say they walk like they're drunk. They're sort of a bit like, and they can sort of, but yeah, what you've done is you stay chill. But have you, other than that one, would you say you've had any negative experiences with them?
I haven't. But the mother, this is what I've been told by Chris Charlton of Suburban Geckos, who I absolutely admire, and you know, I'd like to model myself after. You know, he's got extreme integrity.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work tracking down, because he had a WY issue back in the day, and he tracked down back through the books and ended up separating that problem line. So he has a quote unquote clean line of WY, right? One that doesn't exhibit any issues. And so he did a lot of work to clear that out. So and he's one of the most experienced breeders. So I take his word, you know, with a lot of credibility, and that it can be done. There are clean lines of WY out there. So I'm gonna keep experimenting and playing with it. The one that I had, the issue that I had, that was the father, but the mother also had potential WY. Right. She wasn't a visual, but I ended up petting her. I wanted to kind of start wide with my projects also, so I could narrow it down a little bit. And I ended up finding her a really good home. She was a beautiful gecko, didn't have any symptoms, but just in case that baby, that offspring was because of her, just in case I wanted to, you know, pet that one off. Found a nice physical therapist guy who really loved the gecko. He's taking awesome care of it right now. So she's in a great home. But next year, I guess we'll see if any more come out of there. And like you said, it could easily be an incubation issue. It's not necessarily going to be WY, but I got that. I eliminated my suspicions. Now I'm going to pair two Suburban Geckos together, that Atomic G and then the WY, and that offspring that I have posted. If she's any indication, you got that to that show.
Project, I want to see that gecko.
Okay.
Hold up.
Yeah. If that's any indication,
because that gecko is beautiful. It almost reminds me of, like, when I saw it, I actually thought it might have been high contrast in there. It's beautiful. I have asked a couple of breeders about high contrast and what I could what I could call it, but definitely I love that orange head she has. Let's tilt it down a bit. Oh wow. So that is my kind of gecko. For sure.
She's my Tremper project for sure, yeah. She's gonna breed back to that WY earlier.
Beautiful, mate. You must be really happy with that one.
Yeah, I really, you know, that all that high white, like on your gem.
Yeah.
Like, all that white, I want to increase the white, but I want the orange to be saturated, like really, really orange. The picture on my Instagram is a little better.
Definitely, yeah. Anyone watching this live, just so you know, you can never pick up the true colours in these live videos. So after the live, NobleFamilyGeckos, be sure to check his page because this gecko is absolutely stunning. Look at it.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Like body structure, everything. I love this gecko.
Is that a female?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, this year we'll have an extra incubator for males. But
beautiful. Someone just put Wacky Exotics. I love the head. Yeah, the head is something else. I like how it's got that carrot head and then that washed out, like you said, white body. That is mental.
It's interesting, yeah. That's what I'm looking at. If I can intensify that orange, that would be great. You know, who knows? It could take another direction entirely.
Yeah.
That's the fun part, right? But she's like the perfect combination between mother and father. That atomic. Oh my! those suburban geckos, atomic G's. Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
That's my favorite gecko, probably the atomic G. If I could get more, I would. Like, I don't
What do you mean? If you could, you would. You will be. You know that already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the atomic G straight from suburban geckos. I don't know if I will, but I wouldn't mind it if I did. Those. Yeah. She's my. Pictures. I can't really dial in the pictures just yet to do them justice, but she's my most stunning trimper. Like, he's been working that one for like 6 or 7 years. I believe he said it was a solar raptor and an atomic trimper that he put together. But man, that's why she has that head stamp. That's her mom right there.
Stunning. I mean, what Suburban and Gecko Bow are doing at the moment. Whew.
Yeah, they're the OGs for sure.
So what is your plan with the Afghan het? Was it het bell? What you plan on doing? Are you planning on producing Afghan bells? Because the reason why I ask is next season I'm actually investing in working with Afghan radars myself. Because of Afghan and bell, it just works. It just works very, very well. So it's interesting to hear what your plan is with the Afghan het bell, because of, like I said, man, if you're going to go, I'm pretty sure you're going to go down the bell route of it, het, as it's called, het bell. Yeah. What they do with bell is absolute fire, man. So I mean, I'm keeping my eye on you with that right
now. I'm flying blind, but that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I just happened to get the Afghan first, so and I wanted to, specifically for outcrossing. I want healthy geckos. I want diversity in genetics. So I mean, that's why first with the wild types, then with the tangs. I want healthy geckos that are going to be
having fun with it as well. It's like, oh, let's put this together. Let's see what happens. Yeah. As long as it ain't like het tremper, het bell. I mean, even though a lot of people, even myself, like, oh, if you pair a tremper and a bell together, they're going to come out with 6 legs and 10 eyes. No, it's just a genetical mess. They'll hatch fine. It's just that they will be het tremper and a het bell. It can ruin someone's project, but. I have 2 atomic bell het eclipse females I've got planned for. Well, Green Mountain Dragons, we got a live with you soon, man. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what you do for sure. Because I know he's got a radar and the eye looks like a disco ball. It's the best way I can explain it. It's almost like marble eye, but in bell. It's crazy. I work with Afghan bells. Ha ha ha. I will be soon too, and so will Scott. Anyone got any questions? If anyone's got any questions, hit them down below for sure.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna sign off soon. Kevin, hopefully I can get a wild type from him because I would like to produce more Afghanicus.
Is that for Mutant?
Hopefully,
Gecko? Yeah.
I got my fingers crossed. It looks like it's gonna happen.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Do you think can you see yourself toying into like the hard wikis and things like that as well? I
would love to. But probably won't.
Yeah.
I gotta stay focused. I only have a limited amount of space. If I had a hallway full of racks, I could see myself getting some fat tails, getting some other things. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Dan, Scott's the best barbecue in the Leo community. Man, I message this guy all the time. I'm like, man, I will marry you. Just looking at that steak right now. And I know Scott's gas is like, hell yeah.
It's a hobby for sure.
What I love about you Americans is the stuff you do with like smokers and stuff, because we don't have any of that in the UK. Like, we don't even have brisket here. Yeah. So when I see you guys smoking brisket and stuff, I'm like, man, that looks beautiful. I mean, I like my food, don't get me wrong, but the stuff you guys do. Because I used to go to America a hell of a lot when I was younger. And your guys meat and smokehouse and barbecue. Oh, Jesus, don't get me started. We're too busy eating crumpets and tea here.
I guess I take it. I take, I should appreciate it a little more. I try to, at least.
Well, me and Jay are planning. We're hoping to sort of get to like the Florida, California area next year. So we'll hit you up, man. I think you're California area, ain't you? Yeah. We'll definitely hit you up. I have a rack of ribs for lunch today. Yeah, somebody else. I think it was Tuckson's Finest Leo's. He said, my boy bought me steak for lunch at work. And I was like, "That's steak for lunch." I'm like, I'll be lucky to have a cheese sandwich.
Yeah, he'd be barbecuing for sure.
Eco Gecko said top projects for next season from you both. For me, I'd say the smiley heads, the red diamonds, what else? Stonewash. I keep forgetting Stonewash. Rate yourself, Scott.
The Tramper project. That's my cornerstone project. He's the blood. I also got a blood from Barry as well. I got a blood Tramper. That one came from JMG. And Suburban Geckos are Tramper bloods, but that's also another project of mine. Blood Trampers specifically. And then the ones you already seen, the Atomic G. That I really want to see more of those eggs. I only got that one egg.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine if you all them hatched?
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, Scott, you got the foundations of greatness with what you got already. Do you know what I mean? You've done it the right way. You clearly love with what you got. So that can only go on to make great things. Like even that one you've hatched from that atomic pairing, like I can see how happy you are with that one, Gecko. So I think you're going to go really far, mate, if I'm honest.
I didn't do it by myself. You know what I mean? I'm standing on the backs of many great men. We got Bubba's Geckos out there giving me a lot of advice. All the Suburban Geckos of Chris Charlton, he gave me some amazing advice. I feel like I shouldn't even bring names up because I'm just going to forget at the moment, some people. There's just a lot of good help out there. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask people questions. Even if you see me, my thing is I'm not afraid to ask a stupid question, and that only benefited me, I think.
Yeah.
As far as figuring.
The thing is, though, Scott, what's a stupid question?
Right. Exactly.
We all start from somewhere. There's anyone watching this, if you ever feel like to ask even the silliest questions, I know I'm happy to help, and I'm pretty sure Scott is. Like, hit us up. Like, this is how communication. This is how people start talking. Just sending that one message, you've opened up a door. Do you know what I mean? So I've got one gecko here I would really like to show, actually. So this is a very uncommon. Do you know much about the Abyssian line?
Yeah.
So this is a bold Abyssian het bell.
Maybe I'm mistaken. No. So, you mean the eyeball? Obsidian?
The silver. The silver white. It's eclipse. But it's more of a clear eye eclipse. But this ain't going to pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's fuzzy.
But I really wanted to show this one because the eye, such a shame ain't picking up.
Gorgeous. I love it.
She's going to be...
My first Tramper male had that white Abyssinian eye. And
it's nice.
No other eyes look like it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Any last questions, anyone, before we hick off? Someone said, am I going to do a Leechy talk? To be honest, Mark, I'm pretty much fully booked up till December now with Leopard Gecko talks, but I'm not saying that I won't do one in the future. I'm pretty sure I will. I mean, the New Caledonia species are a bit out of my depth. I've seen the eye in person. It's unreal. Cheers, Jay. Cheers. Jay's my boyfriend in real life, just so everyone know. But yeah, I think we'll do a Leechy talk at some point. But if there's any last comments, I think me and Scott will probably call it a day. But any last questions? Yes. Yeah, but honestly, Scott, man, I really, really appreciate you coming because of even the short space time we've been talking.
Thank you.
Do you just get a good vibe of somebody? Do you know what I mean? You just get a good vibe.
Oh, thank you, man. I love your personality too. This thing that you got going on is really special.
Do you know what? Everyone in America are like, you're just bouncy and jumpy, and we love it. Yeah. I'm like, just how I am.
Quick before we sign out, I do want to say I want to add Jim eventually, and I don't know if I don't want to blow up my spot, but Kevin Fran over there on the East Coast, he's gonna have some amazing gems. I hope I can cop one.
I love the gems. I also really love the Albies, but something about gem at the moment it's just ticking all the boxes for me. I know people say you see on like Facebook pages, oh, what's my gecko? And then someone will say it's an albino. You can tell the difference. I can tell a bell to a tremper. Same with snows. You can see slight differences. But yeah, this guy, shout out to Dan at Tribal Reptiles. He produced this, a friend of mine, similar to you, Scott. He hasn't been in the game that long, but he said to me, bro, take that gecko away from me because of you. I need somebody to do like to do work on him, pretty much. So,
That's a good friend.
Oh, Dan's a great friend of mine, and he's probably one of my best geckos.
Man, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I don't know if it's going to kick us off here in a minute, but if it does, then farewell, and we'll speak again. But your experience in your jobs, right? Did you courier, right?
Yeah, I used to be a reptile transporter. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like courier and this Morphtastic has really contributed to your wheelhouse?
I mean, I don't do the courier anymore. I mean, but the more.
But it sure gave you insight, right? It gave you some insight.
Honestly, it gave me experience. I mean, without the courier, I don't think I'd be where I am now. Because I got Jay could tell you at Eco Geckos. Last year, I had first dibs in everybody's collection in the UK.
Yeah,
because I used to go and pick up their geckos. I'd walk in there, I'd go, "What you think of that?" I'm like, "Nice." I go, "What you think of that?" I go, "I'll have that." And a lot of the time, because I built relationships with these people, a lot of the time they'll be like, "I would like to see what you do with that. Please go and work with it." So, I mean, for the Morphtastics and the courier, I don't think I'll be where I am now. I mean, it's a shame. The courier, I had to stop doing it because I felt like I lost myself. Anxiety, looking after.
You got what you needed.
Oh, honest, can you imagine having about $50,000 worth of animals in the back of your van that you've got to look after, and if anything goes wrong, you are to blame, because that's what it was like. I had somebody scream, "Why's my gecko in shed?" I go, "It's a gecko." You know what I mean? But yeah, like you said, it Morphtastic. Because I mean, I stopped the courier, then I started doing the lives because of the type of person I am. I'm always having to be busy. If I'm not busy, I feel like something's wrong. I'm always doing something. A lot of people viewing this probably know that. They'll ask me a question and I'll sort of half answer it, and I'll answer the other half later in the evening because I'm always running. I'm probably ADHD, to be fair. But yeah, the courier piece. I mean, some animals I picked up, Scott. I mean, I even went to some zoos, and it was just a really good experience for sure. Had that for a year, built it up myself completely, no help from anybody. Got my van. I'm only 20. I'm 26 now. I was 25 at the time. And yeah, without it, I don't think I'd be here. But man, the stress with it, because you can imagine in the UK in the winter it's freezing cold, and the couriers are a bit different to you guys, because I know you guys can send it to FedEx, don't you? You can put it in a box, foam, heat pack, wrap it up. In the UK, you're not allowed to do that. It has to. Our vans all like racks, like a racking system. So we have all our geckos or snakes in a racking system. So I had to sleep in the van overnight. So yeah, you can imagine. So I
bet you peed in a lot of Gatorade bottles, right?
Bro, you're gonna laugh. I had a chemical toilet in the back of the van.
Oh, there you go.
So my van was a toilet. I used to be on the motorway having a poo. Vans would be. Anyway, we've got a minute and a half left before Instagram are going to boot me off, but I want to say a big thanks to you coming on, Scott. Do you want to let everybody know where to find you? I mean, I hope we get a lot of views on YouTube and podcast as well. I mean, the support has been phenomenal. We've got people in Australia listening. So let everyone know where to find you. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Have you got a website? I'll let you hit it all up.
Hopefully we'll have a website by next year. Just the IG. That's it. NobleFamilyGeckos. Come on and say hi.
Facebook soon or no Facebook?
I have a Facebook, but I don't use it. I just put it out there. It's not a great way to talk to me at all. I unsubscribe. But IG's the best.
So if you need Scott, you hit him up on Instagram. Next season, he's going to be absolutely smashing it. And as you know,
very excited.
that, as you can tell from this live, the love and care he puts in his geckos are next to none. So, who you got before we say goodbye? Who are we saying goodbye to on your shoulder?
That we call that's the prince right there.
Beautiful.
That's that het rainwater.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call that a wrap.
He hangs out.
We'll call that a wrap, Scott. Good to see you, my brother. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Green Mountain. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody. Love you all.